Welcome to the Revenue Recovery Masterclass. Now, in this masterclass, I'm going to be showing you exactly how money is leaking out of your business, out of your sales process, and how you can solve it. Now, at the end of this masterclass, you're going to go home with the exact solutions on what you can do to start recovering the revenue that is leaking out of your business, leaking out of your sales process. Okay? So let's get into it. Before we get into it, my name is Blessing Ogochukwu Amabula, and I'm a customer retention and follow-up coach. I teach business owners how to retain their customers, how to follow up strategically, and then grow the revenue of their business without necessarily have to spend so much money on marketing. I believe so much that if you spend a huge amount of money on marketing in the first 3 months, like in 3 months, 90 days, you should be able to gather enough data so that you can reduce the money you're pumping into marketing and focus so much energy into retention and follow-up. That is what I believe, because I believe that your business should be, keeping the money that you are making and not allowing it to be leaking out of the system. So let us get into it. But before we get into it fully, I need to ask you a few questions that I want you to answer honestly. Now, have you done run sponsored advert or done any form of marketing? It could be influencer marketing. Someone posted for you, you got a lot of leads, people who made inquiry about your product and your services, and then they are so interested. It even got to the point that you sent out account number thinking that these people are going to make payments, and then at the end of the day they disappeared. Everything went silent. They went silent, and because you do not know what to do next, you don't have a system, you also went silent. Has that ever happened to you? Now, I'll ask you another question. Do you have the database of your customers, people who have bought from you for the past 6 months? If I should ask you right now that you should give me the data of the people who have bought from your business, people who have paid you money for the past 6 months, can you do that? Can you honestly do that without having to scroll through your WhatsApp, trying to look for them and trying to gather them from your WhatsApp to your DM to your Messenger, trying to gather them? If you don't have any database of your customers, then you must listen to this video from beginning to the end, because at the end of this video, I am going to give you the actual solutions that you need. That act of not keeping the database of the customers that have bought from you is actually costing you a lot of money in your business, and we are going to fix that today. Okay, so let us dive into it. Now, most business owners usually think that the solution to their sales problem is acquiring more leads, getting more people to see their product, creating more awareness about their product and their services. Marketing and the process of all those marketing is not actually sales. Okay, until the customer pays you money, you are still doing marketing. Until you have a system, a strategy to actually collect the money, you are still going through what I call the marketing process, right? So getting more leads, getting the likes, the comments is all part of it, but that is not what is going to solve your sales problem. It is not going to solve your sales problem. What is going to solve your sales problem is when you actually get those people, follow up to the point of conversion, when you convert those leads. And aside converting those leads, when you also have a system to keep them coming back, that is what I call retention system. When you keep them coming back, they come back to the point that they become the believer of your brand, and then they start referring your brand to other people. By the time your business gets to this point, you have won as a business owner. You have won a lifetime buyer. So today, I am going to be giving you a revenue recovery framework, the exact framework that I use to work for clients, the very exact framework that you can implement in your business today. And it is going to help you to recover the revenues that are leaking out of your business today if you start doing them today. Okay, now there are two phases to this framework. Now I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be going to my board right now, and then I'll show you what you are doing right now as a business owner, and then what you should be doing after I have delivered this framework to you. Okay, so this is exactly what you are doing. You're running sponsored adverts. You run sponsored adverts, or you get your leads from any channel. It could be influencer marketing, it could be content marketing, any channel that you are using. You get these leads, and then all you are after is to get them to buy, and The truth is that when you run a sponsored advert, or you are doing content marketing, influencer marketing, in fact, it's a very few percentage of people that are ready to buy from you immediately. Some persons, they will see your product and your services, but they are not ready to buy immediately. So what system do you have in place for the conversion of a large number of persons here? Most of you business owners don't have any system in place. Now you get this customer, you deliver the product, you go silent, they also go silent. You don't have a system for retention at all. And then when you restock, you find out that you're running another sponsored advert, more sponsored advert, and then this cycle continues to repeat itself. The cycle continues to repeat itself. But then this is what you can be doing as a business owner, because what is actually missing here is follow-up. There is no follow-up system. There is no follow-up at all. Okay, but this is what you can be doing as a business owner to recover the revenue that is leaking in your business. That follow-up that you are not doing right now is actually costing you a lot of money. It's costing you a lot of money. Okay, so you are running sponsored adverts, you get the leads. Now, because you understand that not everyone is going to buy from you immediately, a large percentage of persons will want to come back to your product or services next time. But if you don't have a system to remind them, I mean, people are busy. Things can happen, life can happen, But if you have a system to follow up, this is it, a follow-up system. A follow-up system. Now, this framework that I'm giving to you, like I say, is the exact framework that I used to work with my client. It has 2 stages of follow-up. There are 2 stages of follow-up. Now, the first stage of follow-up is before this customer gives you money, before they pay you. Before they pay you, you are taking them through your sales pipeline from the point of interest to the point of when you start negotiating with them, down to the point that they actually pays you for the product or the services. Okay. Now, after the first sales, there is another stage of follow-up, which I call the retention phase. This is the phase that you follow up on these customers and make sure that you get them to buy from you. Okay, so now by the time you get them to buy from you, they become a repeat sales, and then from repeat sales you can actually get these people to start referring you because they are now a believer of your product and your services. Okay, so I'm going to break down these 2 stages. The follow-up stage, that is before they pay you, they are still your prospect before they pay you, and then the retention stage. Now, for the follow-up stage, I call it 7 touch points. As a business owner, how many times should you follow up? Minimum. In fact, the more the attention span of people reduces, the more time you should spend in follow-up, the more touch points you should have. Okay, so when I say 7 is the minimum you should do. Don't be that business owner that will just reach out to a customer 1 or 2 times and then you've given up on that particular customer. No. In fact, I say that until they say no, until a customer says no to you, you have not closed that sales. They either say yes or no. So you need to have a system for you to take them through the sales journey. There are some customers that will convert in 1 week, some will convert in 1 month, some 2 months, some 6 months. You have to be patient enough to take them through the process, and that is why you need a system that is going to keep this data for you, because it will get to a point you can't keep everything in your head as a business owner. So I say you are going to have 7 touch points. Now, in these 7 touch points, there are things you'll be saying to them. The touch point 1, touch point 2, you are going to follow up to the point that these people you are following up on, they will not feel agitated. They will not feel angry because you are not putting any form of pressure. Now, in these 7 touch points, at every time you reach out to those people, you have something new to say to them. You have something new, something interesting to say to them. Okay? 7 touch points. Don't forget. Now, in my follow-up academy, yes, like I say, you need a system. You need a system. Of course, 15 minutes is not enough for me to tell you everything that you have to do. You need a system to run this. So in my follow-up academy, I splitted every of these 7 touch points and exactly what you are going to be saying to your customers to your prospects rather, in these 7 touch points. Okay, and then show you how to build the actual system, build a system and an SOP, so that even if you are not around, your staff can carry that system and follow up on your behalf, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is for the business to make money. Okay, so don't forget I said two stages for follow up, and then each of these stages I call this one has 7 touch point minimum, and then this one, after they have paid you, there is what I call follow up as well, retention follow up. Do you know that just by following through the delivery process of a customer, you have opened up a conversation for the next sales, right? You have opened up a conversation for the next sales. But so many business owners are not doing this. The moment they deliver, they go silent. It ought not to be so. Money is leaking at this point, and we are here to recover that money. Okay, so by the time you have made your first sales, you have a process, a retention process. First of all, you follow through the delivery process. I call this, there are 4 phases here. You follow through the delivery process. After following out through the delivery process, you check up on them, find out if they're actually using the product, and if they have any question and all that. You check up on them, you get their loyalty, you get them to be loyal to your product, make sure that they are using it, and then find out when they are likely to finish that particular product that they bought from you, and then wire another repeat buy. Trigger a repeat buy. As a business owner, have a system that will always trigger a repeat sales immediately. Now, I'll give you an example. I have a student of mine who is a skincare vendor. When we are going through the customer retention and then the follow-up process, I taught her how to follow through this process, and by the time she finished selling to her customer, went through the retention process. I saw her list. I said, okay, this particular cream, when is it likely to finish? 1 month. Oh, okay. Start messaging this person at this particular time. Start messaging this person at this particular time. We went through the list, and then I gave her the timeline of the person she needs to follow up on, and then she followed this religiously, and at the end of the day, she was able to close more sales of up to 1 million naira. Why? By the time she reached out to a customer, oh, my cream is even about to finish. Oh, okay, I'm going to make another purchase. Oh, my cream will finish, it's still remaining small. This is what retention process can do for you. It can help you recover your lost revenue as a business owner. It can help you increase the sales of your business. It can help you increase your business revenue without necessarily running a new set of sponsored adverts. Now, there's also this client that I was working for. I set up a sponsored advert for her. By the way, I also do full advert setup for business owners, but I am more focused on customer retention and follow-up, because I am so bothered on why business owners will spend a lot of money on sponsored advert, and then at the end of the day, they will allow that money to just slip away like that. Okay, so this business owner, we finished setting up the sponsored advert. We did the campaign. She sold out her pair of denim. She was selling men jean. Okay, so when she restocked, she came back to me that, oh, I've restocked, so I want to start another advert. I said, why? Why do you want to start another advert? And then she's like, we need to sell out this. I said, what happened to the previous advert we did? Everyone who messaged you from that advert, did all of them buy? She said, no. The people who bought from you, have you messaged them to tell them that you have restocked and you have new designs and beautiful design that you have to show them? Did you message them? She said, no, I just have to run. I said, no. You can't make 1 million naira profit from selling, and then you restock. You take out 200,000 naira, 400,000 naira to start another set of adverts without trying to maximize the one you have done. Let it be that you have followed up and you discover that your lead is now dry. That's what I call dry, like your pipeline is getting dry. You fill it up. Don't allow your pipeline to go dry. It's also part of it. You fill it up. But don't be that business owner that will continually fill up your leads, your pipeline. You fill the top of the funnel, but you are allowing your customers to continue leaking out, and your business revenue is leaking out continually. So I hope you understand what I have said right now. So let me give a recap of what I said. I said there are 2 stages: before the customer pays you and after the customer have paid you. Before the customer pays you, make sure you follow up at least 7 times. 7 times is the minimum. You can take it more than that. 7 times is the minimum. Follow up at least 7 times, 7 touch points. Okay, now after they have paid you, there are 4 stages that you must go through to make sure that you trigger a repeat buying. A repeat buying is what is going to give you continuous referral. Okay, so now with all of this, you need a system. You need a system to actually help you implement what I have just said, because your customer base, the database of your customer, will get to the point that you can't hold them in your head. If I should ask you now, give me 100 lists of your customers who bought from you last month, last 2 months, you don't have all of them in your head. That's why you need a system. And that is the exact reason why I built the Customer Retention and Follow-up Academy. The Customer Retention and Follow-up Academy is for business owners who are intentional about, retaining their customers, growing the revenue of their business, and then removing every form of leakage, every form of revenue leakage in their business that is caused as a result of lack of follow-up and then lack of retaining the customers that you have at the moment. Now, in this follow-up academy, I am going to be giving you a system, a template of a system that is going to help you take your customers through the sales process from the point of intention, that is the point that they indicated interest, to the point of negotiation, to the point that they are going to pay you the money. Now, after they have paid you the money, I also have another system where you will transfer all of your customers. There's a system for prospects, there's a system for all of your customers. You transfer them to what I call the retention system, and then you take them through the process of retention until you trigger a repeat buy. And after you trigger a repeat buy, you go through another process, trigger another repeat buy, and then trigger referrals and all of that. Now, the good thing about this follow-up academy is that the system that I have provided for you, I made it such that it's going to give you today's activities. It is configured in such a way that the moment you enter all of your data and then you open the system, it will show you the people you need to follow up on per day. Now, imagine you open your system and then you click on today's activity, and you can see the list of everyone you need to follow up on that particular day. The people who are supposed to pay for a particular product or services, and the people who are supposed to return back to your business and make a report. You are going to be seeing them on your today's activities. Now, the WhatsApp link to their WhatsApp is on this system that I have provided for you. So you don't have to go to your WhatsApp and start scrolling, looking for their contact for you to strike a conversation with them. You just have to click on the link and drop a message for them directly on WhatsApp. Okay, so now in this Customer Retention and Follow-up Academy, we are going to be building a system. At the end of the academy, you will have a customer retention and follow-up system for your business, specifically for your business, that any of your staff members can implement and follow up even when you are not there. I mean, that is what business is all about. Your business should be able to run seamlessly even when you are not there. Okay, so in this follow-up academy, you're also going to have access to community, 1 year access to community. Imagine what that can do for your business, because of course a lot of things are evolving, the use of AI, but you will be in a community where, as it is evolving, the way we are doing things is evolving, you'll be getting latest updates inside the community. Now, I'm not just here to teach you customer retention and follow-up. It is far more beyond that. I am building a community of business owners who are intentional about systems. This is more than a training to me. It is more of a movement. And that is why when you join the Follow-up Academy, you're going to be part of a community that is enforcing this particular movement that I am talking about. Imagine what your business will look like when you have repeat purchases and then you start getting lots of referrals. Now, this is the stage of growth. This is what growth looks like. This is what recovering of your revenue looks like. I've given you enough information to recognize the revenue leakage in your business today. So the decision is up to you. The decision to actually grow your business using systems and structure. The decision to be plugged into a system that will help you grow your business is actually up to you. So I have more details of all the offers that I have for you in this academy on the next page. If you're a business owner and you are intentional about retaining your customers, you are intentional about growing your business, you are intentional about making money and actually keeping that money, and then not making the money and allowing it to leak out through different sources, just click the link and go to the next page, where I am going to give you details of all the offers, the sweet offers that I have for you inside the Customer Retention and Follow-up Academy. This video is already long enough. I don't want to start saying everything in the video. Just go to the next page. I listed all the details, every details, all the offers that I have for you in the Customer Retention and Follow-up Academy. By the way, this academy is not for everybody. It is for business owners who are willing to implement If you are okay just listening to my voice and grabbing the knowledge, you can just stop at this stage. But if you are intentional about implementation, because it is when you implement, that is when you are going to get the actual results you are looking for. Click the link and then go to the next page. Go through the offers that I have for you in the Customer Retention and Follow-up Academy. And then once you are certified that this academy is something that I need, something that is going to grow my business, and then I am ready and willing to implement every instruction in this academy, just make sure you make a purchase and be part of the business owners who are going to be intentional about customer retention and follow-up. See you in the academy as we embark on this follow-up movement together.